My dear friends, welcome back to Peace Spice. In this session, we'll focus on defense in depth strategy. So, what is this defense in depth strategy? So, defense in depth strategy is a cybersecurity strategy that layers multiple security controls. So, multiple security controls in the sense, physical security, network security, and endpoint security, application security, you know, data security, and security policies, procedures, all these. So the defense in depth strategy is a cybersecurity focus that layers multiple security controls throughout an IT system. What for? To protect the data and resources. Okay. So that is the item which we are going to talk today, and this is more of a outline. And the next video we will talk about the details. Okay. Then before going into okay, maybe I'll just get started. Intro. Okay. As I said earlier, defense in depth is a cybersecurity strategy that layers multiple security controls throughout an IT system to protect data and resources. So the idea is that if one layer fails, others still provide protection. This approach, in fact, is inspired by the military tactics where multiple lines of defense are used to slow down and repel attacks. So you may have a question, why it matters? Yes, it matters a lot because, friends, redundancy, multiple layers reduce the risk of a single point of failure and also the resilience. It helps the organization withstand and recover from attacks. Then complaints, it supports regulatory requirements, So these are the, importance of this. So now we go into the details. So let's talk about the key layers of defense in depth. So as I said earlier, there are 8 layers. In fact, one is physical, second network, third endpoint, fourth application, fifth data security, and sixth identity and access management, seven security policies and procedures, and number 8 monitoring and response. Now we'll see one by one, friends. Okay, physical security, this kind. So what is this physical security? This is the first line of defense, protecting the physical infrastructure. The purpose is to prevent unauthorized physical access to systems and data. So that is the intent. Okay. So yeah. So example, we can talk about like, locked server rooms at data centers, all these, and security guards, surveillance cameras, and also the biometric access, for the fingerprint retina scan. And additionally, also the, environmental controls like fire suppression, climate control, all these. So this is the number one, physical security. Then second is the network security. Network security protects data as it travel across the network. Network security, right? So the purpose is to prevent the unauthorized access and attacks on the network. So that is the purpose. So a typical example, we can talk about, firewall. It will filter the incoming and outgoing traffic based on rules, right? Based on our settings. Then intrusion protection, intrusion detection and prevention system. We call it as IDS, IPS. It's to monitor and block the suspicious activity. Then, of course, we have a network segmentation. It isolates sensitive systems to limit the movement. Okay. And VPNs, it secure remote access by encrypting the traffic. So this is about the network security. Okay. And of course, we'll talk about this network segmentation in a separate session. So number 3, endpoint security. So the endpoint security meaning it secures the individual devices like computers, mobile phones, and IoT devices. So the purpose is to protect the endpoints from malware and unauthorized access. So that is the intention actually, right? Say here. Yeah, this guy. Okay. And yeah. So example is antivirus, anti-malware software, okay, device encryption and secure boot, and also the patch management, all these, okay. This comes under endpoint security. Then number four, application security. So application security focuses on securing the software application, okay. So it prevents the exploitation of software vulnerabilities, okay. A typical example is secure coding practices and also the regular code reviews and yeah, all these, and of course vulnerability scanning and web application firewall, WAF, all these about application security. It includes penetration testing and vulnerability scanning also. Okay, yeah, of course we have covered that. So that's about the application security. Now we go into number five, data security. Okay. So data security is nothing but it protects the integrity, confidentiality, and availability of data. So the purpose is to ensure the data is only accessible to the authorized users. So that is the funda, right? So example like, encryption. So encryption means at rest and in transit. Okay. So it protects the data at rest and in transit, and access controls limit who can view or modify the data. And yes, DLP, yeah, data loss prevention. So that is to prevent the unauthorized data transfer. And of course, we have a backups also that ensure the data recovery in case of loss. This is a data security number five. Then number six, identity and access management, IAM. So it controls who can access what resources, who can access what resources. So the purpose is to ensure that only the authorized users have the access to system and data. So that is the point. So typical example, we can, take this multi-factor authentication, MFA. It adds extra layers of verification, isn't it? And we have a role-based access control or BAC. It assigns permission based on job roles. That's the point. Then we have a single sign-on, SSO. It's basically it simplifies access while maintaining the security and user provisioning or deprovisioning. Okay. So yeah, that's about the IAM. Then we have security policies and procedures. Okay. So security policies here on the top, right? Security policies and procedures. So this defines the rules and guidelines for maintaining the security. The purpose is to establish a security culture and ensure the consistent practices. Example, of course, incident response plan, security awareness, training, all this. Yes, and of course, compliance to standards also, like ISO 2000, 27001, NIST, all these. That's about the security policies and the last monitoring and response. So monitoring and response is, it detects and responds to threats on real time. So that's the important point. The purpose is to identify and mitigate threats quickly as possible. So what are all the examples, we have a security information and event management. We call it as a SIEM. It aggregates and analyzes logs. In fact, we are going to talk about this in a separate session also. This is also in my plan. And threat intelligence. Threat intelligence in the sense it stay informed about the emergency threats and also the incident response team. It handle breaches and recover the system. So that's all about this, friends. To sum up, we had, gone through the 8 items, the key layers of defense in depth: physical security, network security, endpoint security, application security, data security, identity and access management, security policies and procedures, and monitoring and response. So thanks for watching and thanks for your support to friends. Keep supporting. See you in the next video where we'll talk about the same defense and depth strategy, but we will dive deep actually. Thank you. Take care. Bye.